God was showing me this is the place, because as far as we can tell, there had never been a good gospel preaching church in this area, and I was certain that this is where we needed to be to start the first church. We learned Spanish before we came here. We obviously don't have it perfect, but we made sure we knew that we could connect with the people in that way.
We're in between two cultures. We're between Añasco, which is very heavily Spanish speaking, very Catholic or Adventist, and then we have Rincon, and it's a lot of people who have, you have locals who are very Catholic and very traditional, and then you have others. It's a surfing town, is a town that they're there to relax, they're there to escape their life in the States.
But they're friendly when you talk to them. They'll even have you to their porch and speak with you and try and get through their broken Spanish and everything and be nice. Sit down for hours and talk about whatever, but if we try to go and talk about the gospel with them, that it was almost immediately, well, we're Catholic. That's the end of the conversation. We're not here to change the culture of the society. We're here to reach them with the gospel. And that's not going to happen by just coming in and trying to change everything. It's going to happen as we're discovering more and more through one-on-one time with people, speaking with them, they getting to know us as much as we getting to know them, investing in them and them learning about us and why we're here, and them learning to trust us. And we found that that doesn't happen overnight. If I take time with them, if they trust me, if we're patient with them and they're patient with us, we're building relationships with them in that way. And some have come to the church who we never thought would come, and some who are considering coming that we never thought would come. But we learned that some of the things we knew and we thought would work, they weren't working.
There's basically no room for pride in missions work. I mean, and it's all it was to it. We had to let go of ourselves and let God lead, and it was only then that we actually started seeing God open doors that we never could have opened ourselves.
I think people have asked us here since we got here, every time they ask us, well, what do you think about, do you like it here? Well, of course we like it here. We live here. What else is it? And I tell them, I say, I love it here. We love it here.
Kind of still waiting for us to leave, I think, especially after the storm. Waiting for us to leave, yeah.
They want to see if we're going to be here, if we really are who we say we are. Here we are, starting another church, and they're waiting to see what we're like. Are we just in it for people's money? Are we just here for a few years and we're going to leave? Are we going to stay? Do we really love the people here, or are we just saying that? And that's the thing that when they ask, well, do you like it? Well, I do. I said, I love everything about this island. I don't like the hurricanes, but everything else. And they said, well, we don't like those either. But obviously we said, we love it here. We love the people, we love the food, the culture, everything. And because this is why? Because this is my home. This is where God has called me to come, and there's nothing here there's nothing better for me. There's no other place that I'd rather be. God has shown us that there's more important things than some of the things we were worried about before. He's shown us that you can be patient. You can deal with things you didn't think you could deal with before. He's taught us how, we learn how to be more creative. We learn how to think outside of the normal box. When we started the church, we had a few people come when we started. It was going great. We had families show up. We had our first Sunday, had 2 or 3 families come. And then we went almost 6 months with nobody. And it was just us. And I mean, 2-3 times a week we were at church, usually 3 times a week, and it was just us. And I was preaching to my family, preparing sermons and lessons every week and doing it. We were still going out inviting, still doing everything we could to get it going. And it was just us. And that was hard. And again, like she's talking about, just the biggest thing was over time saying, well, this is God's work. I know we're doing what we're supposed to be doing. We're doing the best we can with it, and God's got to bless when He's going to bless. So now the families we have in the church now came at the end of that 6 months. One, because we were knocking doors and they got a flyer on their door, and the other family was recommended from another church, but he was a very new Christian. And they have both come, almost every service since, without having to work or being sick. They have been to every single service since they started. They've been involved in the church. They are helping us do outreach in the church. They're inviting people and praying with us about it. And that's just the way it's been since that time period. They're invested. This is their church as much as it's our church. And if we had left and said, well, nobody's coming, this obviously is not where God wants us, let's go home, let's try something else, then we never would have seen that, and we never would have had a part in their lives, and who knows how many others that'll be coming in the future.
We always tell people our whole goal is just to know, whether they ever come to our church or not, is to know that there's somebody that loves them, somebody that cares, and there's a God that loves them even more. And if they're looking, if they want to know God, then, they can know God, and that's what we're here for, and but we're also here to help people no matter what.